The responses on your video were
Yeah,
great.
they were. Did that video?
You went
It's
viral.
I know it's so silly because it's like I feel like that's of all of the stuff that I've ever put out there, that's probably gotten the most traction as far as video goes.
Yeah,
And it's just like it was just like for fun, just entertainment.
yeah, and I think the choice of the materials that you use.
Yes.
Go away, child. These are mine now.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it was so visual.
Yeah.
Um, hmm, on that topic,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that are using video now in their feed
Hmm.
to come across. Um, what's your opinion about that? Because I have a strong, I'm getting a strong opinion that's going the other way.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I personally, I don't mind there being media. What I do care about is what it's about. And I find a lot of like self promotion videos, kind of like you'd see on Facebook and Instagram, where it's like just them, self help, whatever. That to me, I don't like it. It's a little bit of a turnoff. But I have seen video where it's more maybe more like interview style, like what's his name, Randy Vander something, forget his last name. There's a few people that do it, and I'm like, oh, that's enjoyable, but
Yeah,
probably that's 20%.
yeah.
What do you think?
What I think, um, what I what turns me off is if people use it to portray themselves and just to be out there and just to be noticed, how they look and how they talk and how their day is. Um, it's something different if you're excited about a venue, if you're there and just we're just opening and that you take a shot. That I like. But if it's just you getting some coffee and yeah, shooting a breeze at your conversation, and those car videos that people tend to shoot, I I don't like those, because if I see somebody posting that kind of material 3 times, I click up unfollow, and because I don't want those people in my feed.
Yeah. Yep.
And if I look at the feed, the postings that my eyes are drawn to nowadays are the more textual postings and not the videos. The videos I scroll because if I'm in an environment, I don't want to hear them or somebody else to hear, and I don't want yeah, the audio interrupting a conversation with somebody else, so I go past it.
Yep.
So I think it's shooting his the purpose for, how do you say that? It's going beyond its purpose.
Hmm. Yeah. And I think too, you can't have everybody be happy.
No.
And I think that some people, I mean, there are, with the amount of hundreds of millions of people on LinkedIn, there's people that love what we despise. And I think LinkedIn's role, what suits them best, is giving people what they like,
Yeah.
if other people don't. So I probably, just because of our similarities and our age and stuff, like I agree with you, but I don't think that the global community will stop
No.
doing what we dislike. I think that the best thing is for to let the digital groups and like networking, like, and who's following who, sort of just pan out
Yeah.
and give people what they like.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm portraying it upon myself and our customers. If the method is usable for them to get a bigger audience or getting more conversations, and I don't think if it's not based on passing knowledge,
Hmm.
that it will contribute to more conversations about what they want. Um, Yeah, that's my opinion on B2B, like we are doing it. If you're in another kind of area, it will work maybe better.
Hmm. You know what else? Like the majority of people's lives while they're awake, Monday through Friday, the majority of their days spent working,
Hmm.
right? So what that means is commerce and business play like a super huge role in everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've gotten used to Facebook having so much material for entertainment, for personal, but the amount of my time that I spend professionally is a lot more hours than personally. And right, and I wonder if as people get used to, as people move to LinkedIn, I would just expect there to be a lot more professional media, a lot of
Hmm.
good stuff, a lot of crappy stuff, a lot more though.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're building a brand and if you are selling high value products, um, your appearance also on LinkedIn is how you convey yourself and how your audience is perceiving you.
Yeah, I saw the door open behind you.
Yeah. It's, my, it's a cat that walked in.
That's hilarious.
um, where was I?
He threw you off.
Um, yeah, yeah. It's how you portray yourself and how do you want to be perceived. That's mainly the question. If it's part of your brand,
Hmm.
you can use it in that way. But I think it should be used in a manner that you can convey your authority and your knowledge.
Yeah. And you know, the news feed is mostly um, personal branding type stuff, right? I don't see a lot of company page material or school page material in my newsfeed unless it's paid.
Hmm.
And so the even just with how people, the things that people share are going to be more, I think, reflective of their personal brand, what they've got going on, rather than company level. And it gets a little gray when it's a small company with one or two people. You know, it's so they're so related. But
Yeah,
even I've got friends at big companies, and the stuff that they share is maybe not even reflective of their big company they work for, but it's their personal brand too.
yeah, yeah. It personalize you. That's true, and you can uh, use it to put a face on the character that's behind the company. That I can understand, that you want to use it to be more of a human company. That's something you can use. Um, and I still think, because um, the way my customers poor for poor one for me too. The way our customers use LinkedIn, and what they are telling me is that they only look at the post for at people that they are personally connected to, that they have a personal interest in,
Yeah.
um, and not if somebody from a company they vaguely know. They don't check even. They don't check out that post, and if it's knowledge that they can use, then they will check out the post, and otherwise they will scroll through it.
I completely agree. You know, I was watching the LinkedIn marketing. It's like a thing, a division within LinkedIn, you know,
Hmm.
and they just did a live broadcast Tuesday morning. I was on the road and I was listening to it. They were talking about very similar things, but it was all about what is basically what you just said. What's the future of video role
Hmm.
professionally on LinkedIn? And they were talking about live and how people communicate. And it seems like what they were saying was there's a trend to communicate more by video, but in shorter bursts. And it's like it becomes very powerful when you can use video to create a human connection that's intentional and for relationships, right?
Hmm.
I completely agree with what you're saying. And like I have a couple clients that do video as their profession. They do corporate video.
Hmm.
And what's very powerful for them is to do a recording, a professional, awesome recording of them explaining something themselves where they're on camera. And then we've done things where we share it in the newsfeed, but it's always like boom, and then it's gone. Like the crisp video that I did, it
Yeah.
was funny. It'd be like 100 views, and then like a few hundred views, and then a lot, and then it's just always like, and then it goes away. Even the most viral piece ends up going away in the newsfeed.
Yeah.
And all the people, there's not the, they don't take the time to go, oh hey, like I want to talk to you. But when you're using the same kind of video for the personal connection in a smaller quantity, more
Hmm.
direct, so that you talk off LinkedIn, I think it's a video becomes very powerful. But that's a different kind of video.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a video to break the ice.
Yep. And it's gotten very common in sales to
Hmm.
have to do just a short intro video because you humanize yourself, and it brings trust up. Like I think that's the big thing with the corporate video clients on our end is people see not only production quality, but they see that the person is not like this scary, sleazy salesman. That it humanizes people so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. And on that topic, I have two thoughts. You can go with a well-produced video, but if it's well produced, you get the feeling that it's orchestrated and the person is not real.
Yeah, totally.
And if you're in an environment, what I'm sitting in now, that's not really orchestrated, it makes you more human and more natural. And if it's a video like that, it's is minder orchestrated. Um, However, it can be offsetting for certain people because they expect everything is tip-top shaped in order.
Hmm. They were the LinkedIn marketing live videos talking about. They talked about the exact thing, and there was a video company involved, and they said that some of their clients actually intentionally do lower quality videos for the right audience
Yeah.
because of what you just said. So it's funny, it's weird.
Yeah. Um, this process we did it a year ago for some of our clients. We basically interviewed them on a venue and have them and their people just talking about their company and how they came to be in that company and what their vision is on the future. And we did that with not high tech gear, but just with a mobile phone.
Hmm.
And because it was so natural, it's a video that's watched every time because these were the directors of the company, and because it's it's it was a real introduction to the company, and the persons were not perceived as inapproachable anymore.
Yeah, that's totally true. And 10 years ago, I don't think that was true. Right? I think 10 years ago people they would trust higher production. And
Yeah.
now it's like the pendulum has swung to the other side and it's trending the other way. And I'm thinking in the moving forward, it'll change again.
Uh, Eventually, yeah, I think because now it's more natural and people want to have a feeling that they're talking to real people because there are so many digital ways to talk to each other.
Mhm.
Um, I think people need the human connection at this point more than a digital one.
I agree totally.
So, and then that's our basis, I think, for you and for me, that we based our company upon on that premise.
Yeah.
Um, and I think in the future it will shift another way.
I agree.
But I that's in 10 years, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what is the constant is like forever, even in the past, is people want that authentic connection with another human being. You know, and the culture and trends change and technology morphs, but what people I think was what they're really after deep down is like to be known and valued.
Yeah, recognized um, and belong somewhere with the peer group.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.